Sevgili seyirciler, CNBC ekranlarından merhaba. Ben Nesrin İçli. Diplomasi Dünyası'nın bugünkü konuğu İsviçre Ankara Büyükelçisi Guillaume Scheurer. Your Excellency, hello.
Merhaba.
Merhaba. It's very nice to see you. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. It's great to have you on my program. Welcome to CNBC.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you tell us about yourself, your previous duties and your hobbies?
I am a seasoned diplomat, now 32 years in the ministry, Swiss Foreign Ministry. I'm married since 26, 27 years. We have one son. Previous posting, I had the chance to alternate between bilateral and multilateral posting. So I started in a bilateral posting in South Africa. And then I went to Vienna in the multilateral diplomacy. Then back to the bilateral embassy in Tehran, in the Islamic Republic of Iran. And then I was in Bern, of course, as deputy head of...
Capital.
In the capital, in headquarters, as the deputy head of our Department for Human Rights and Peace Promotion Mediation. And from there I moved to Washington. And then I moved back to Vienna for the multilateral diplomacy, then Ukraine, Morocco, and now Turkey.
Perfect. And how would you describe the current state of diplomatic relations between Switzerland and Turkey?
Well, we have absolutely excellent relationship. I mean, Turkey is a strong, reliable, trustworthy, predictable partner. It's also a very key ally for all the peace processes that we have in the world regarding the many conflicts. And we have also a lot of visits on both sides. Just recently, the Swiss Minister for Economic Affairs, Research and Innovation was in Turkey. So we have a very vast variety of activity relationship. Also to mention, this year particularly we celebrate the 100 years of friendship. So we have 100 years of friendship officially since the treaty was signed in 1925.
Excellent. And there are 26 cantons in Switzerland. Could you tell us about the administrative system of your country?
Try to explain briefly a very complex system, but Switzerland is a federal state. It means that we have three levels: the confederation, the federal state, the cantons, the 26 cantons, and we have a little bit over 2,000 communes, villages, cities. With the principle of subsidiarity, we try to maintain the decision at the lowest possible level. It means that the cities, the communes, they have a lot of competencies. And then there's a delegation of competencies from down upwards. If it cannot be organized or ruled by the communes, it is uplifted to the cantons. And then if it's not able to, like circulation, traffic, you cannot have only 26 rules. You need one rule for the whole country. So it is at the federal level. So 3 levels of decision making. A strong direct democracy, that's one of the very specific aspects of Switzerland, direct democracy. It's the capacity for the people on a regular basis to cast their votes regarding referenda or popular initiative. And then we have a very lean government, only 7 members that form a collegial body. That is the Swiss government, 7 members. They are elected by the Federal Assembly. It means the 2 chambers, we have 2 chambers, one for the people and one for the cantons. And this bicameral system jointly elect the members of the government.
Very nice. You ask people's opinion sometimes.
On a very regular basis. Basically,
Important.
every 3 months we go to the voting station to cast the vote regarding different topics. It can range from fiscal issues to joining the EU or not, joining the UN. We were basically the only country in the UN where all the people had to accept to join the UN.
Very nice. And how does Switzerland view Turkey's role as a diplomatic mediator?
I think we have both countries, Turkey and Switzerland, a long tradition of mediators, of offering services to offer peace and compromises. So Turkey is, for us, a very strong and natural partner, and we are trying to increase the collaboration between the two countries. Turkey is also very fitted because it is at the crossroad of the east and the west, the north and the south, so it has this natural positioning that enables Turkey to be asked and to involve itself into peace processes. And this position is also very important as a bridge builders. So we have developed a relationship with Turkey to try jointly to promote mediations, but in order to do that, we also try to have moments where we give expertise to each other. So we form new mediators, new diplomats, to acquire the skills to be a mediator. It's not sufficient to be just at the right location. You need all the skills. So we form together jointly mediators in the African Union or in different organizations or in different foreign ministries.
Trade between our countries has increased in recent years. Which sectors are the most promising for the future?
Trade is obviously for Switzerland a very important topic. The economy is central. So before speaking about trade properly, foreign investment to start with. Foreign investment for Switzerland is very important in all the countries and of course certainly also in Turkey. We have been in the last 20 years always in the top 10 most important foreign direct investors in Turkey. For instance, last year we're number 5th in 2024, and both for capital stocks, but also in terms of numbers of project, volume of project, and also, of course, capex, so capital expenditures. So Switzerland is a very strong country in terms of economy. And foreign investment for us is the way to create a Swiss presence with our companies, to create jobs, and to create also this innovation that Switzerland is so much known for in different countries. And Turkey, you know, it's a country of 90 million inhabitants. It has a very important economic growth, around 4%. It is at the crossroad again of all the possible routes. It is the possibility from Turkey basically to trade with all the economic regions or economic blocks, and it has a very good workforce. So foreign investment is an absolute given.
Ideal country.
It's an ideal country to invest in, Turkey, and Swiss companies do that. Now, with all those investments, Swiss investment in Turkey, we also have a very good trade relationship. So the trade is about 10 billion Swiss francs a year, which is quite important. It covers all the sectors where Switzerland is known for, or Turkey as a matter of fact. But basically the food, the pharma, the machinery, the textile, transport, so all the sectors are very active in both directions between Switzerland and Turkey. And again, the visit last month of our Minister for Economic Affairs, together with a high-ranking business delegation, is one testimony of this importance that we attach to Turkey.
Yes. And how are Swiss companies contributing to Turkey's green technology and sustainability goals?
I think they do the best. I mean, Switzerland, I mentioned, it's a very innovative country. In fact, it is the most innovative country during the last consecutive 15 years. So Switzerland has been the most innovative country during the last 15 years.
Science is very important.
It's a very
research
amazing
development.
R&D, both from the state perspective, but
and
also
private sector as well.
Absolutely, you are right. So what is interesting in Switzerland is that it's a joint effort from the state, but also from the private sectors. And jointly, it creates a lot of innovation. And those sectors that you mentioned, green technology, for instance, you need innovation. And Switzerland or Swiss companies are bringing this innovation to Türkiye, but they're also benefiting from the very dynamic situation that we have now in Türkiye with those very dynamic startups that you have in Istanbul, but also in different cities.
Yes. And what measures are being taken regarding climate change in Switzerland?
It is obviously a very important topic for all the countries, but in particularly for mountainous country like Switzerland. We need snow in winter.
That's not enough in Turkey. We don't have enough rain and snow.
Rain is a big issue, or snow, as a matter of fact, for organizing the water for the summer. But climate change affects Switzerland like it affects all the countries. So we are trying to have climate change strategies, and we have very ambitious goals. We have a mix of energy, water energy, wind energy, solar energy, and we try to develop also hydrogen energy. So we try to address the situation by being very ambitious, being very innovative, and setting important goals, and being active during the COP meetings. The next one will be in Antalya in November.
Next time in Turkey. And Switzerland is known for its financial stability. How do you achieve this?
I think we have a very solid banking system. It is both the public banks, private banks are very strong, very solid. They have a reputation of excellence. They have an amazing international network combined with a very deep local and regional roots. And I think this mix of excellence and local and international networks, plus the idea of innovation. I think the banking sector is changing very fast. Cryptocurrencies, for instance, but also sustainability. How do you create sustainability in finance? And those are areas where the Swiss banks are in the forefront, leading the innovation in the banking sectors worldwide. Another aspect of the financial stability in Switzerland, I think it is linked to the government and the parliament. We have a system called the debt brake. It's a law that was enacted by the Swiss parliament that prevents the parliament to overspend. This debt brake, there are of course adjustments possible, but basically prevent the Swiss state to be too much into debt, but has the capacity and the flexibility to give more when the economy is growing.
Balance is important.
Balance is important.
Yeah. And what initiatives are underway to encourage more Turkish businesses to invest or operate in Switzerland? You mentioned the investment, but can you again?
You are right. It's both
highlight.
ways. Switzerland is a country where a lot of foreign investors are present. There are different reasons. The stability you mentioned, the rule of law. It's very respectful of the law in Switzerland. Excellent academic network, and of course this innovation that we mentioned earlier. So foreign countries are investing in Switzerland through their companies. Many from the US, from Africa, from Europe, and
all
so
over
on.
the world.
And Turkey, of course, is also growingly coming. We have here in Istanbul a Swiss business hub that can be the first step for a Turkish company that has an interest to invest in Switzerland. And they will do so like all the other companies coming to Switzerland, to get better innovation, to get closer to maybe competitions, to know better what competition is doing, to benefit from this stability, the rule of law, and also benefit from very skilled manpower.
And what are some recent or upcoming Swiss cultural projects in Turkey?
I mentioned we celebrate this year the 100th anniversary of this Treaty of Friendship. So we tried to be a little bit more active than maybe before regarding cultural and public diplomacy, as a matter of fact. So we started with jazz concerts in Izmir, in Ankara, in Istanbul. We had a very nice exhibition, frankly speaking, about the Swiss traces in Ankara. And it's not very known, but an important architect, Mr. Egli, was commissioned by President Atatürk together with the Viennese architect to be one of the architects to build this new Ankara in the 1920s and 30s. And Mr. Egli came to Ankara and fell in love with the city, fell in love with the Turks and the mandate, and he has built many, many buildings in Ankara. And a Swiss photographer, a lady that was traveling in 1930s through the Balkans and Turkey, going to Iran, stopped in Ankara for many months. And she made many pictures about the building up of the Turkish capital. So we made, with a Turkish curator, a very nice lady, we made a very nice exhibition curated by Burcu Yakece, a Turkish lady, historian and architect, explaining a little bit the birth of Ankara, the tasks of those architects and the Swiss architect, Mr. Egli. And the exhibition was visited, for instance, by the mayor of Ankara, Mr. Yavaş. Then we had a very nice watch exhibition in Istanbul, the Grand Prix de l'Horlogerie de Genève, the first time that this Grand Prix is coming to Turkey, showing all the 90 watches that have been selected as the best watches in the world in 2025.
Competition, like competition?
It's a competition.
Award.
Exactly. It's a competition, and then the award and the selected watches were shown, all of them, here in Istanbul for the first time ever. And we had also a very nice cello concert by two cellists, a Swiss and a Turkish lady, Estelle Reva and Nil Kocamancil, that were making this amazing performance in Istanbul and in Ankara. Together.
Very nice. And are there any scholarship opportunities or student exchange programs between Turkey and Switzerland?
They are. Not so many as I wished, and this is certainly one area where I would like to make improvements. But we have those excellent scholarship. This is really the best of the best in the most innovative country. And every year there are 5 or 6 or 7 Turks that are selected for a doctorate or postgrad doctorate to come to Switzerland for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So this is a real reality. But before that, what we have is, of course, Switzerland is very known for those private boarding schools. And we are very happy to have many Turks coming to those Swiss schools. Very famous Turks like Cemrako, Mustafa Sandal, Ferit Şahenk, that were students in Switzerland and maintain, of course, important links with Switzerland.
And network.
And network.
Obviously,
for a Swiss ambassador, it's very useful to have those
reference,
important reference, knowing Switzerland and helping me to navigate into Turkey. But back to the academic world, those scholarship, excellence in scholarship, this is one. And the other aspect is we see more and more young Turks coming to Swiss universities, to the Swiss Polytechnical School in Zurich and Lausanne, and this is very much for me a source of satisfaction to see a growing number of young Turks studying in Switzerland.
Very nice. And the Swiss model of cultural coexistence is often admired. What lessons could Turkey draw from this experience?
I think every country has its own history and its own challenges.
It's a good model.
It's a model,
good
but
example.
It's vice versa. You know, we have built up our system, our model, but it's our own. It is driven by circumstances, by history, by geography. Every country is different, but we are happy to share, of course, and people are
experiences
can come and look at it, and we do the same in different countries. What we have learned in Switzerland is that, in fact, despite or because of differences, we are stronger together, because we have this multiculturality and richness in diversity that create a country that is more diverse, more resilient, has more dynamic and more inspirations. So I think for the Swiss system it works well. We are being lucky as well, because the different minorities we have, groups we have, don't intersect always. You know, for instance, I am a French speaker and I'm a Protestant by religion. So in my region, I am in the majority. Neuchâtel. Thank you.
Yes.
I am in the majority. But I travel 5 kilometers.
Different languages.
And then I am a minority. And that helps to balance, never to have the arrogance of the majority.
Very nice. And Switzerland has a long-standing tradition of neutrality and mediation. How does this role evolve in today's polarized global landscape?
More than ever, I think we need neutral state or state that are, you know, in the middle of these geopolitical tensions. Switzerland is absolutely and remain a neutral state, although, but it has nothing to do with neutrality. You can be neutral, but still apply the UN Charter and apply sanctions in case the UN Charter is violated. And it's exactly universal. So we are a neutral country, and it is recognized like that. Even more so now, I would say, because we have been through this very tragic experience of this war of aggression against Ukraine. And the last 2 years, 2023, 2024, Switzerland was in the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member and had to take position on all the conflict, all the tensions that are in the world. And despite or because of neutrality, we were able to be a very strong voice in this situation and in this specific format of the UN Security Council.
Switzerland is home to many international organizations. Can you tell a little bit about them?
Well, we like to believe that Geneva is the capital of diplomacy. You know, there are more than 40 international organizations active in Geneva. It's the headquarters of the UN for Europe, beside the UN headquarters in New York. We have more than 500 international NGOs active in the framework of these 40 organizations. And most of the discussions take place in Geneva. Then they move maybe sometimes to New York, where the political decision is taken, but the technical expertise is in Geneva. And it does affect us on a permanent manner. With the World Trade Organization, the UNHCR, so many organizations. Even, just would like to name one example, because I think it's important to realize what is going on in Geneva. It is, for instance, the Meteorological Organization. It is absolutely central for maritime and air traffic to understand the climate change, how it can affect those routes. So there are many organizations affecting our direct life on an everyday basis. Or the Human Rights Council, very important. For instance, just the last examples, the violence against women and young children and young girls. The decision taken in Geneva will affect or prevent violence against women and young girls. So this is a very important place. And I'm not speaking about the sports. I know sports is very popular
Olympics.
in Turkey.
Yeah.
It's popular in every country. So you have 400 organizations, sports federations active between Geneva and Zurich, where they have the headquarters. Football,
very
for
important.
instance,
The
but
center.
basketball, baseball, you name it. They are all, most of them at least, they are hosted
The
in
centers
Switzerland.
are-
Absolutely.
yes.
But football, you are right.
The gastronomy is important. What are the most popular Swiss cheeses? And did you hear of the Gruyère cheese produced in Kars, Turkey? It's like Swiss Gruyère.
I did heard about the Gruyère, and I was a bit. I inquired about this, and I heard. I don't know if it's true, but at least what I heard is that indeed a Swiss cheesemaker, Mr. Moser, went to Kars in the 19th century, fall in love with the region, and really felt that it could be a nice region to make cheese. So he started creating cheese, and Gruyère came from Gruyère, which is a very famous Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Although I have to say the analogy is not perfect because the Gruyère has more holes and it's closer to Emmental, which is another Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a Swiss element in the Gruyère from Kars, dating back from the 19th century. And yeah, Swiss cheese are very diverse. There are more cheeses than cantons by far. So probably every commune, the 2,000 commune I mentioned, they are all their own cheeses. But the most famous one are the Gruyère and the Emmental. Yeah. But maybe it's interesting. There is a very old cheese that dates back from 1436, and it is one of the oldest brands in the world because it has been written down in 1436 as a specific cheese, and this is also an interesting element going back in history.
Fondue is one of the most popular dishes in your country.
Indeed.
Can you tell about Swiss cuisine?
I can speak about Swiss cuisine. It's obviously always a challenge to speak about cuisine in Turkey because hopefully we'll go back to the Turkish cuisine. But Swiss cuisine is basically excellent. He's influenced by France, Germany, and Italy, the three big countries surrounding neighbors. So it has a little bit of everything. But if I go back to the main roots of Swiss cuisine, it's a simple cuisine in the day when Switzerland was a rather poor country. So cheese, potatoes, rice, this constitute the basic ingredients for Swiss cuisine. Materials. Raclette, fondue, rösti, risotto. This is really the typical Swiss cuisine. And of course, I could not forget Swiss chocolates.
Yes, very famous.
Very famous.
Brands are famous as well, international. And do you like Turkish food? What is your favorite food?
I really love Turkish cuisine. You know, I just came back from Gaziantep, which I understand, I hope I'm not offending anyone.
Paradise.
Paradise for cuisine and Turkish cuisine. I love all the meze, of course. And I don't know, I have a weakness for the mante.
Mante, yeah.
Mante.
You liked it.
I
Like
mante.
ravioli.
Like ravioli.
Ravioli,
But even
yes.
better, you know.
Delicious.
The
very
mante
delicious.
is for me really specifically
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah. And I like very much your country. Last Christmas I was in Zurich. The city and the New Year's decorations were very beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you tell about the tourist attractions in your country?
Well, like Türkiye, Switzerland is also a very important tourism destination. What I like about Swiss tourism is the fact that you can travel there in all seasons. It's not only a winter destination. You mentioned the beauty of cities with the Christmas decoration, but of course the skiing.
Resorts are very beautiful.
The ski resorts are
mountains,
beautiful.
Perfect.
Mountains, perfect.
Nature,
Nature,
lakes. Leman Lake, for example, in Geneva.
You should be
Yeah.
in the Swiss tourism.
Yes, several times. I
industry.
visited Geneva as well.
So you can travel the 4 seasons to Switzerland. You can discover so many things. In the cities, you will have very elegant cities to discover, very nice museums. In summer, you have those lakes that you mentioned. There's even a little secret. You can swim in a river in the middle of the Swiss capital, Bern. So my city, home city, Neuchâtel, is one of the most beautiful cities in the world on the shore of a beautiful lake. So please do visit Switzerland.
Yes, good
Again.
message. Yes. Finally, how do you envision the future of Swiss-Turkish relations in the next decade?
You know, the 100th anniversary of the Treaty of Friendship was not only an historical moment, but was also for us, both, I guess, in Ankara and in Bern, a moment to see, okay, what can we do better? How can we increase this relationship to the next level? Of course, continuing what we do best, trade, innovation, investment, but also helping better the people-to-people contacts. We have a very important Turkish diaspora in Switzerland. 150,000 Turks are in Switzerland, completely integrated, very dynamic society, bringing a lot of ideas to the Swiss people and the Swiss community. So increase the people-to-people contacts. That's one. Increase the number of students, exchange students on both sides, coming to Turkey or going to Switzerland. And being more specifically, trying to bring more Swiss companies to Turkey or vice versa, to be active in those new technologies that we need regarding climate change, new technologies. And this is, I think, where we have this advantage. And working continuously together regarding mediation and all the peace efforts that we have jointly to stabilize this world that is a little bit chaotic right now.
Yeah, VUCA. It's not
Exactly.
easy, and there are a lot of challenges, and we will
Indeed.
cooperate in this subject.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, it was a great conversation
Thank
with
you.
you. Thank you very much for your participation and sharing your vision with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sevgili seyirciler, programımızın sonuna geldik. Hoşça kalın, sevgiyle kalın.